Splitting a user story or an epic by steps in a workflow, it's a fairly common method, but it can be really tough to split it well. Making each step of a workflow into a user story is only desirable if the step provides business value to the end user all by itself. In order to split a story based on workflow, you need to find the fewest number of workflow steps that create a business value. You might be able to move the remaining steps of the workflow to future releases or future sprints. For simple workflows, you could use a technique called the sequence of events. That might be enough. We'll deal with more complex workflows in the following lectures, but here's how this one works. Ask your end users to describe the activities in the business environment that this user story would handle. Tell them it doesn't matter whether the steps are sequential or not. You just want to make sure you've got them all. For an example, we had an event planning product, and we got this user story, which even I recognized instantly as an epic. As event manager, I can arrange for all facilities online to optimally support the event. So when I asked them, one of the event managers described what happens like this. I need to make all the arrangements for concerts by popular artists. I start by contacting the artists to get their requirements for the venue and the dates. And once I have their needs, I contact all the venues that meet the artist's requirements. I select the best fit venue, then I book it for the scheduled dates, and I set up the event on Eventbrite to sell tickets. Then we monitor ticket sales to ensure maximum attendance. So out of her explanation, I identified these events or workflow steps. 1, contact the performers or the artists. 2, capture the performer's venue requirements. 3 is capture the potential venues. 4, compare the venue availability, cost, features, things like that. 5 is select the best fit venue. 6 is scheduling the event with the venue and by the way, also with the performers so they know they're booked. 7, adding the events to Eventbrite, which is an event product online. And 8, monitor ticket sales. Now, one possible solution out of this would be to create a user story for each workflow step and then figure out whether or not it is providing enough value to be a standalone story. So I could say, as an event manager, I can get venue requirements from the performing artists to ensure the facilities I book work for them. That could provide value all by itself. As event manager, I can contact all venues that fit the artist's requirements so I can select the best one that's available during the scheduled time frame. There again, that alone is almost a service. As event manager, I can schedule the selected venue to ensure it's available for the event. Another one, as event manager, I can create an event on Eventbrite to sell tickets. And finally, as event manager, I can monitor ticket sales on Eventbrite to avoid overselling the event. Each one of these user stories actually provides business value without considering the others, even if any one of them could be implemented all by itself. If all of them are implemented, the original user story would be complete. So all you need to do now is prioritize these user stories, working with the business community based on which stories they feel provides the most value without requiring that the others are delivered first. So sequence of events is a quick method for splitting an epic. And just to recap, if the epic is large or overly complex, just try creating a quick list of the steps in the workflow and identify all of the more detailed activities. Turn each activity into a user story with the role and the business value. And like I already mentioned, that business value can change. In some instances, the role can change too. For example, it might be a web developer is the one that has to add the event to the Eventbrite website. That would change the role in one of the user stories. That is splitting user stories by sequence of events.